Okay, in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and show you what some of the typical product manager resume mistakes are. And I wanted to go out there and actually just share this with you. Somebody just sent this thing over to me, and I have masked off their name. I've masked off actually a lot of stuff over here. But I'm going to be taking you through a top down of things that they could be doing a little bit better, and hopefully it's going to also go and help you out too. My name is Rich. I'm the founder of Product Gym, and I'm the co-founder of Elevate. And as you can see, my LinkedIn is often lit up with people asking me for career advice. And I'm going to go out there and try to provide you some. The biggest feedback that I get from people, and this is actually my network right here, I think I get like about 400 pings a day from people that are trying to get a product manager job, pretty much, or some job out there, right? And if you go out there, I don't mean to put any of these people on blast, but when you see enough people here, what you're going to start realizing is everybody kind of looks the same. And some people are going to be like, oh, I didn't want to, let's get over yourself. Like, you look the same. There's a reason. So how do you get a resume across to a hiring manager where they're going to take a look at that resume and they're going to want to go ahead and contact you for a role? Because ultimately, you don't want to keep watching these videos from Product Gym about, like, you know, how many people have we gotten a job for and all that kind of shit. You are trying to go out there and get a job right now yourself, right? So let's go out there and talk shop. For starters here, what you should have at the very top is a skills chart. It should be no more than 2 pages, but you should also keep in mind some of the following things. For starters, if you don't have a portfolio link that's going to show your work, you are already coming in at a disadvantage, because right now we are in a show, not tell interview trend. Right now, the people that are getting product manager jobs are the people that are crushing it on the interview. And they're crushing it on the interview because they have something they can show. Let me hydrate here. They have something that they can show on the interview that is going to prove to them that they're going to go out there and be a good fit. So something that employers want to look at is, do you have a portfolio link? A lot of people, they actually don't have one. And a lot of people's portfolio links are really, really bad. So if you don't have like your LinkedIn on here, if you don't have like your portfolio on here, which I see a lot of people don't, they are just going to go ahead and go with the other one. Because you also have to think, not everybody that the recruiter is going to recommend is going to go ahead and get an interview from the hiring manager. Not anybody that it's not everybody that one of our recruiters recommend to me. I'm going to go out there, and we're always like interviewing for salespeople to work on our admissions team, or we're like talking to like marketing people. I'm not always going to go out there and talk to everybody that they send over, right? So that's something that we really need to go ahead and keep in mind. The next thing is, you need to go out there. We're in a climate right now, I don't want to get political, but you need to go out there and actually have U.S. citizen. You want to know why? Because sponsorships are hard. So somebody came up there and they told me, and they said, "Yo, Rich, that is racial profile." Yeah, but in recruiting, they also have another term for it. It's called actual profiling, right? Because they got to go ahead and think. And some companies can, and a lot of companies can, but even more companies don't know how to. So we had a situation where a company moved an H1 over to another company, and it was a 4-month process because the recruiter just got hired a week ago and did not know what they were doing. But meanwhile, offer letters out. And the team is waiting for this person to come in for 4 months. Granted, it's like it starts off as like most things. It's a 2-week process, and then it's just like, oh yeah, it's gonna take a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer before you know it's like 4 months. But by that point, it's kind of like investing in Uber. You're already so vested, right? So you need to have that. Next thing here is you actually have to have the skills. The skills are very important. Right now, what skills are hot? AI and machine learning skills. So make sure you have something like Lovable on there, Replit, Cursor, Perplexity, ChatGPT, GPT agents, Grok 4. Load it up as much as possible because that's what they're looking for. Perplexity Labs, Comet. Load that baby up as much as possible. Other things here, product and analytics, all that stuff is great, but if you don't have all the general buzzwords, you're going to come in at a huge disadvantage. Okay, and this is a really good time for me to tell you this. schedule a call right now to talk to us because the year is coming to an end real fast. It's Halloween already, pretty much, right? You don't want to go ahead and wait for this. You want to get this thing done ASAP, Rocky. Now, with all of this right here, a lot of people talk about percentages. Biggest mistake about percentages is that you want to have actual hard metrics. It's like we increase website traffic by 3,000 people by like 30%. I don't know what 30% is. We have to appreciate right now that, like, look at how blown up I am right now. Okay? Look at how blown up I am right now. Everybody's looking for a job. We clear this list every single day, and I still have 400 people. I'm not trying to put these people on blast, but take a look at your competition. Like, you can't tell one person from another person, right? I'm just being shit honest with you. So if you guys want to stand out, you guys have to actually go ahead and stand out. So one way for you to stand out is to have hard metrics. Because if I'm the recruiter and I'm going to go ahead and go to my hiring manager and say, I'm just going to choose some random person right here. And I'm going to say, yo, Scott, you should interview James. He's going to tell me why. He is, right? Right now, I know a lot of people are very frantic right now. And the first thing they're thinking about is, I need a job. I want to get you a job. I'm here to help you out as much as possible. But you also have to understand they're pissed off and they're overworked and they're getting ready to murder somebody themselves as well. So anything that you are making it more difficult for the recruiter to pitch you, and there's somebody else that's coming out of our program that's going to be easier to pitch, they're going to go ahead and decide to talk to that person. Because when I'm going to my hiring manager, they're going to ask me questions. And if I give them percentages immediately, they're going to charge me an aggravation tax. Why are they going to charge me an aggravation tax? Because they're going to say, okay, and what does 25% mean? Did you ask them what 25% means? And I'm just going to be like, yo, I'm just a recruiter because I graduated with a history degree and I wanted to work in tech. And I didn't ask that question because I don't know to ask that question, right? And you know what ends up happening is I want an interview. No. And they get really pissed off. So you don't want to do that. You want to have hard metrics, avoid percentages, and you want to have time frames. How long did it take you to accomplish this task? Right now, we are in a time where speed is everything. Now, beyond that, there's a few things that I also want to go out there and point out. You also want to have a really good portfolio website, which is why you want to schedule a call, because we are putting all the side projects basically together. But they need to see a lot of AI skills. And here's a problem that people have when they're on the interview. They're like, A, you haven't worked on it, in which case you're at a disadvantage. B, you have worked on it. Can you show me something? That was all proprietary data. So, C, you can either keep on building this shit out one by one yourself, or you can go ahead and utilize the group and actually get efficiency on it, which is why I'm recommending schedule the freaking call. Because if you're not showing, I do bootcamp consulting. I literally do. You can go out there and check out my other channel, and it's called Richard Chen. And I just put out videos about how we get more leads, about how it is that, we generate more leads, and just basically all this other stuff for boot camps, like how to get people jobs and everything. And then they call me and they're like, yo, we would love for you to go ahead and do for us what you've done for yourself in product management. And I get calls from like cybersecurity boot camps, tech sales boot camps. And you know what? The first thing they tell me is, wow, your program is really amazing. I was like, yeah, because when people call, you guys are just assessing risk. Which is like, well, can you get me a job? Can you really get me a job? I got to show you guys some people, right? I got to show you guys some testimonials. Okay, yeah, that's cool. That person got a job, but I don't give a shit about that person. I want to know if I get a job, right? It's like, okay, well, I'm going to show you right now. Like this person here was averaging 30 interviews a week. Okay, well, how did they do that? I got to show a lot of stuff because you don't trust me. They don't trust you. So the fastest way to build trust is with a video. That's how you show, don't tell, right? Even this website right here, how do I know you didn't pay some freaking guy on Upwork from Europe to whip this shit up, right? You need to have video. So beyond just your portfolio, I'll tell you this. If you don't have a YouTube video link, and you don't have to put your face on it. Just make it faceless. There's a lot of faceless YouTube channels that are making a lot of money. The other thing that you want to do is you want to have a YouTube link, because I don't know if you made your portfolio. Now, I know what you're going to go ahead and say. Rich, that's a lot of fucking work to get a job. 100% champ. That is a lot of work to go out there and get a job. That's why make it easy for yourself. Do it with other people, and also learn how to profit with AI, which is also what we're covering. Nobody's enrolling in my program anymore to go out there and get a job, because like nobody's that motivated to get a job. Everybody's enrolling in my program right now, which is why we're blowing up off the hook. As you can basically see, like I have 400 people blowing me up, because you want to know why? They want to know like, yo, let's deploy these skills to get you something better than a job. So getting a job is actually just our first milestone for you. Like it actually, we're going to go out there and do more work. So with that said, okay, these are the biggest mistakes. Number one is you need to have your work authorization status up top. Like, I don't care if you like, I work with a lot of Canadians. Like they want to know if they have to ask you any amount of additional work they have to go out there and do, they're just going to work with somebody else that doesn't have that problem. Number two, you need to have your LinkedIn link on here. Number three, you need to have a portfolio link. Number five, you need to have a link to a YouTube, because they need to walk you through it from the beginning to the end. Because I know a lot of product managers right now that have paid people to put together AI side projects, AI agents, lovable websites, and they paid people because they don't want to do this shit on their own. And then the hiring managers right now, they're getting smart. They're like, walk us through this, and they can't freaking do it. So they get pissed off, and they're like, no, you know, right now, our people here are putting out freaking content like crazy. Yeah, avoid percentages, have hard metrics, and then have time frames, because you need to go ahead and make it easier for the recruiter to pitch you. Your resume, the reason why you're not getting picked up is if the recruiter thinks that you're a more difficult person to pitch, they're rather going to spend their time talking to somebody that's going to be easier for them to communicate over to the hiring team. Because right now, we don't have a shortage of candidates. We have a surplus of candidates. So you want to make sure it's easier for them to pitch you. If it's more difficult to pitch you versus 5 other people coming out of my program, and they have other roles that they have to go out there and source and recruit for, who do you think they're going to go ahead and schedule a call screen with? The easier person. That's all I have today. I want to keep this thing very short. But with that said, stop trying to do this thing on your own. Schedule a call. Let's get you in. Let's get you on a coaching call. Let's get you freaking into a job, because this year is flying by.